Hello once again, all you amazing people. How are you on this marvelous day? Today I have here the second part of the first story of this storytelling channel. If you missed the first part, there's a card going on up here or here, I never know decide, and a link in the description, and it also is in a playlist on my profile where I'll be putting all of my stories as well. If you are one of those people who didn't miss it but wasn't able to understand it because of the lack of subtitles, I'm very sorry about that. I got tricked over and over again by the YouTube Studio and other subtitling tools because of their unclear rules and limited functions. But I spent my time solving it, and that's why I didn't show up in a while. But it's finally here, actually there in the other video, and actually here on this video as well. Subs in English and in Portuguese. So I recommend you to see it there first before coming back here to the second part. Also, because of the way I found for myself for now, I'm having to cut the stories in 3 parts, this story in 3 parts, instead of in a half, and from now on, all my videos will be in 10 minutes range, which in fact, I guess it's a better way of doing things, you know? Keep it simple. As always, if you will, don't just get bored by looking at my face for so darn long, but go do something boring, like cleaning the floor while hearing this story, or do something that doesn't require a lot of thinking, like racing games. I always listen to audiobooks or podcasts while playing games. Well, mostly, but I think there should be the vibe for my videos around here for now. Also, I just have uploaded this story and the next one already to my Ko-Fi profile, link below. And if you'd like to support me, go have a look in there, pretty please. With that said, and no further ado, let's go to the second part of Faith Plus the Stalker. Amely was really furious about the stranger on the phone. He thought the stranger was playing games with his feelings and hopes and that he didn't deserve it. Not at all. Not after all the humiliation he had to go through to even get to date someone in the first place, and for it to be just a casual thing. He wouldn't be so damn humiliated again, and even more by a stranger. But then he had to stop to don't risk crossing another closed street signal and actually risk being run over by a car. And had his first brief, in fact, after leaving his home, which was enough to finally see the fun of all of it. After all, what was really the problem with all of that? The weird stranger didn't really say anything mean and didn't do any more than just give him some extra hope. Didn't he really wish for it in the first place? To the hell, where did the stranger came from? Perhaps it was sent by some guardian angel or some entity alike. And then, after crossing yet safely another street, he was decided to play the game and actually talk to the stranger instead of being the one saying mean things. That is, if the stranger were actually going to reply after all of what he said. And all, it kinda seemed that the weirdo at this phone was only responding to whatever they felt like responding. He was puzzled, deeply puzzled by the situation. But nonetheless, he thought, it seems I'll only find an answer when I talk to this sanity thief. And then, after just a walk to calm down a little, which was virtually impossible because he kept running simulations of possible conversations he would have with the stranger, he got back home, knowing what he had to do. First of all, show his mom he was indeed okay. Then he will go to his room and pick up the phone to see if he could text something more. He actually did calm down his mother when he insisted he'd talk to her if he had anything tough going on, and he in fact did go to his room and picked up the phone. But there was some message there. The stranger did, after all, answer something. And he was worried because it seemed he made the stranger feel guilty about all that went on. The messages said, "Oh, Amely, I'm sorry. Really, really sorry. It had to be like this. I supposed after saying I was able to grant you this one wish, you would probably jump from happiness. I guess you would think of me as naive or even lunatic for thinking like this. But honestly, there was no need to call me invasive or even a pirate. I'm not like this at all. You would understand me more if you really believed that you could get your wish granted. Now, if you don't believe that, how can you believe you are going to find any of what you want? That worries me the most because the wish is the first step. The believing is the second, and the working is the third, and then... But I probably should have kept my work more privately, as I always did. I always grant the wishes in secret, but for you, I really wish you would understand. When you're the one who always wants something weird and magic happen to you. Anyway, if you change your mind, you can do another wish and I'll be listening." Amely felt like he lost some big opportunity right away. He felt like he was way too slow and lost his one chance of having that one wish granted. He finally was believing in the widow at the phone. But now, how would have him the courage to, on one hand, tell the stranger his radical change of mind, and on the other hand, wish for the same thing twice once he had rejected himself at first? It was getting complicated. Amely just let his body hit the bed, and were thinking over and over again and again until the brain was too heavy and he got some sleep. According to Nathalie, he slept for almost 20 hours, and truth be told, it was again clear at day when he opened his eyes. But damn it, was that a good sleep. He felt like doing it again anytime. No good feelings, no failure feelings, no weird feelings, and no anger. Just peace and love on his own brain. That was the life he wished for him. And then he had it. He got his phone once more and started inviting anyone he knew to hang out at any day, anywhere. Didn't really matter. Didn't the weirdo at the phone say he just needed to go out to find that someone he was wishing for? Well, he will do it now. To hell anyone judging him about the pandemics. To hell the pandemic itself. It was decided from his bones to his toenails that he would go and have fun. Damn it, he deserved it. And whoever felt like doing it with him, he would gladly go with. But then again, it was still a pandemic, and he was some kind of lucky because most of his friends were actually conscious about being at home at times like those. So all he got was a girl from an old school he didn't talk with in a very long time, and a friend of a friend of a friend who he didn't know very well. He pictured himself with those two at any place and got chills from weirdness. He felt much more like going to hang out with the weirdo on his phone. That went on terribly. But Amely was not giving up. Besides, he had enough weirdness for a year already, and because of it, he had to decline the two friends. He got out on his own and went to his favorite place for hanging out alone. The mall. Yeah, okay, you're innovative, but it was really his favorite place, and it was the closest place for him to go for the first time in a year, so he thought it was a good idea. Besides, no chance of meeting anyone there. For reals, he tried it too many times already. And that's it for this part. Thank you so much for watching or hearing another episode of this story. Please give it a like before you see or I upload the next part, or a dislike for me to know that you were dropping this one. Yet, if you want to see what happens next before everyone, pass by my Ko-Fi in the link below and get all the videos I'm gonna upload beforehand, along with a full audio version of the story and the original text I wrote. All of that for the price of one coffee. Isn't that awesome? Thanks again and see you in the next part.